The Veltari fleet hung motionless in the cold dark between star systems, 17 warships arranged in a crescent formation that had intimidated every civilization they had ever encountered. Admiral Kethvaros stood at the observation bridge of the command vessel, his 4 eyes studying the single object that had dropped out of faster-than-light travel 30,000 kilometers ahead. It was a human ship. He had heard reports, of course. Everyone in the galactic consensus had heard reports. The humans were new, barely 2 centuries into space travel, and the consensus had voted to offer them the standard territorial warning before absorption. A simple procedure. 17 ships against 1. Scan it, Kethvaros ordered. His chief analyst, a young Veltari named Orcs, pressed his slender fingers to the scanning console. The deep resonance array swept across the human vessel in a single pass. Then Orcs went completely still. "Admiral," Orcs said slowly, "I think the scanner is malfunctioning." Kethvaros crossed the bridge in 3 long strides. "Run it again." The second scan confirmed the first. The third confirmed the second. Orceth's breathing had become shallow. He turned to face the Admiral with an expression Kethvaros had never seen on a trained analyst before, raw, unfiltered fear. "Sir," Orcs whispered, "that ship is crewed by 840 individuals. It is carrying enough nuclear ordnance to sterilize a continent. Its hull plating is reinforced with a tungsten carbide composite we have no name for. Its point defense systems fire at a rate of 12,000 rounds per second." He paused. "And it is broadcasting on an open channel. Not encoded. Not hidden. What is it saying?" Kethvaros asked. Orcs looked at the translation. He read it twice to make sure he understood. USS Richard Grant. United States Space Naval Command. Identify yourselves or be considered hostile. They issued us the warning, Orcs said quietly. They issued us the warning first. A face appeared on the view screen. Male, by human standards. Short dark hair, jaw set like carved stone, eyes the color of deep water. The uniform was dark blue with gold trim and a small flag stitched above the left breast, red, white, and blue stripes. "I'm Captain James Kowalski of the USS Richard Grant," the human said. His voice was calm. Unnervingly calm. "You have entered a declared human patrol corridor. I'm going to need you to state your intentions." Kethvaros had addressed kings. He had made planetary governors weep. He opened his mouth to deliver the standard consensus declaration of territorial authority. Instead, he found himself asking, "How many of your vessels are in this sector?" Captain Kowalski glanced off-screen for exactly 1 second. Then he looked back. Enough. While Kethvaros stalled for time with diplomatic pleasantries, his analysts tore through every record the consensus had on humanity. What they found built slowly, like water rising in a sealed room. Humans had been at war with each other, continuously, for virtually their entire recorded history. They had developed nuclear weapons and, instead of destroying themselves, had simply decided to aim those weapons outward. Their ship designs were not elegant. They were brutal, over-engineered, redundant, built not to be beautiful but to survive. Every system had a backup. Every backup had a backup. Their soldiers were trained to keep fighting after injuries that would have killed Veltari outright. One analyst pulled up a historical record and made a sound like a strangled whistle. "Admiral. Humans once sent soldiers into battle armed with nothing but a rifle and the expectation of dying. And those soldiers went anyway." The room was quiet. "They are not afraid of death," Orcs said. It was not a question. Kethvaros looked at the human captain still waiting patiently on the view screen. 17 Veltari warships against 1 human vessel, and somehow, for the first time in his long career, he did not feel like the most dangerous thing in the room. He straightened. He made the only logical decision a commander with 17 ships and no desire to test that logic could make. "Captain Kowalski," Kethvaro said carefully, we appear to have entered your corridor in error. We will withdraw immediately and open formal diplomatic communication through the consensus channels. Kowalski nodded once. No gloating. No triumph. Just a nod. Appreciated, he said. Safe travels. The channel closed. Kethvaro stood in silence for a long moment. Then he turned to his fleet navigator. Take us out of here, he said quietly. And someone find out how many of those ships they actually have. Nobody answered him. Because nobody wanted to know.